Hi and welcome. I'm delighted to be making this tutorial on Lazy Bear by Vitalij Neugasimov, and this is especially for Amelia, who's learning this piece. Amelia, good luck. It's a brilliant piece. I really like it. There's so much in it, and there's a lot for us pianists to get our head around, which always makes it more fun. Now, middle C is not that one. I've moved my sight line, my camera, so that is now middle C because all of the action on this piece happens down here. And I've moved my chair along a bit as well. You can probably just make out the very end of my keyboard. I've never filmed so far down on the keyboard before. Great fun. Now normally tunes are in the right hand, but for this one we've got a tune in our left hand, which is one of the things that makes it so interesting. So let's go through the left hand, this melody first of all. And for the exam, if you're preparing this for the grade 2 exam, we don't play the first time bar. So I'm going to go through it now as if for the exam, and I'm going to jump straight to the second time bar. So let me play that first 4 bars, those first 4 bars. Now there's so much in there. We've got accents right from the start there. We've got a slur to play notes legato. And we've got our staccato dots as well. And at the very end of the line here on that E, we've got a tenuto sign. So let's just think through those. Mezzo forte to start with, accent on the first note. Then nice and staccato, and I'm just making sure my fingers leave the keyboard. Link those two up, isn't that a lovely phrase? And then very similar. But I'm getting louder. And a tenuto. I think of it like bold font for text. So just a little bit of a lean, a bit of a push on that E, and certainly make sure you give it its full value, so hold it on to the very end of the bar. Let's carry on. Next line. We're forte now, but dying away. Second time, bar, 2, 3. And then in the second half of the piece, that last 8 bars, the left hand sinks even lower. It's all an octave lower. So let's think through that. We start off loud. Tenuto, held on a little bit. And my hand hasn't moved there, has it? And there's a real contrast between the tenuto notes and the staccato tenuto. I seem to have ended up with my 4th finger on that C. 5th finger, 4th, whatever you like. And then it sort of repeats, doesn't it? Mezzo forte now, so slightly less. Before we head back up to do the repeat, then for the da capo, which we should do in the exam. You do da capos. Now then, let's have a look at the accompanying right hand. It's staccato. And in bar 3, similar, we carry on. It's always staccato for those chords. So let's think our way through. 2, 3, 4, rest, 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 rest. They'll need to be louder, these ones, but gradually dying away. Now the first chord, that's A minor, isn't it? It's worth trying to work out what these chords are. And that one, it's really an E chord. Can we see an E in the bass part? And those chords are relatively comfortable, but I think when we get to bar 7B and 8B, those are tricky chords. Now, let me show you a way I still practice tricky chords. The first one is this, isn't it? I like the fourth finger at the top because it's getting me ready for the next one, but you might prefer the third and something different. So don't worry about my fingering. I'm going to do that. Now then, the notes, where are they? They're there. Can I play them everywhere on the keyboard? You might want to kick back your stool for this. I'm not going to, but you could. Ooh, I think there's even one right down the bottom. Ah. I'm off your screen. And that's as far. So that's a great exercise for just becoming familiar with the shape. And you could do that with each chord. And then the next thing I'd do would be this. I would set my metronome to something like, I don't know, about 80 beats per minute. And then I would try this. Can I leap from one position to the next with 4 ticks between each one? I'm playing it loud and confidently because that's how I want my playing to appear, certainly confident. Okay, I'm going to give myself a 3-tick challenge. You get the idea. And if you're feeling very brave once you've got it. And I would repeat that with the other chords. It's just a great way of just becoming familiar with the shapes. Do you know where you're going? And then, if we look at those 2 bars, we've actually got 3 chords. We're going to go from that one, again, whatever fingering you're doing, to that one, to that one. So I might use that same exercise. Let's try and do 3 ticks between each chord. And then gradually decrease the number of ticks and build it back up. Let's move on. Let's move to this second 8-bar section now. And we move up to a C major chord to start with. Now at the beginning we had an A minor. Now we have a C major. I'm sure you know that C major and A minor are sort of the same thing. They are related. A minor is the relative minor of C major, we say. So that's why it sort of sounds more majory for this section, but it still feels as if we're in the same area. Let's crack on. 2, 3, 4, rest. Rest. Sorry, that should have been loud. 3, 4, rest. Rest. Mezzo forte, just a little bit less. Now these chords are tricky, aren't they? And they're tricky because we're going to involve our 4th finger. My 4th finger is pretty hopeless. It's really struggles. So my 4th and 3rd finger, these are our weak fingers. So I'd want to drill those 2 bars as well, just like we did before. I'm not going to do it now, but in a similar way. Get your metronome out. Can you find them? If you get a specifically difficult one, let's say that's horrible, isn't it? That's really tricky. Do that jumping-y exercise on that one and gradually become really familiar with where you're going. Now then, let's think through now to finish off with them hands together. Again, really tricky because we've got the tune down there and the chords up here. And from the outset, he says, can you play that one mezzo forte and this one piano? Now that is a really difficult thing to do on the piano. So don't be disheartened if you're struggling with that. But do give it a go and do think about it. Let's give it a try. 1 and 2 and... Getting louder. Hold on to that E and now loud. Dying away. So it's the coordination of the 2, isn't it? and I would take it nice and slowly. So that's smooth while that was legato. Can I do that? Can I get the difference between the two hands? Let me jump to the second half now. So with forte, fortunately, both hands are forte. So we do want to support, in this hand, the loudness that's going on down there. Mezzo forte. And straight back up, and straight back up to the top to carry on till the end, where you will do the second time bar. So in conclusion, there's a lot going on. I would definitely play both hands separately to start with. Really work on that tune, perhaps hum along whilst you play it. Note the accents and the staccatos and the slurs and the tenutos. Can you make the difference? And there's also lots of dynamics, aren't there? We're going from piano to forte, there's a crescendo in there, there's a decrescendo. It's all happening there. And we're going very, very low. And then work on those chords, some quite tricky chords, and then putting them both together, can that hand do something different to this hand? Final word is on the tempo. The book suggests 60 beats per minute. So you will be aiming for Incidentally, I played the first time bar there. If you're playing it in a concert, or you're playing it for family and friends, I would definitely include that first time bar. It makes a piece longer, doesn't it? I hope that tutorial has been useful. Emilio especially, let me know how you get on, and if you have any further questions, of course, please come back to me. Best wishes. Bye bye for now.